Alright, so welcome to Bryce Gaming, and I know this ain't Bryce starting the intro, but we are doing Stack the States tier list based on their usability throughout the game. If you guys don't know what Stack the States is, it's a game where it's like a trivia game where you have to guess what state the question's obviously talking about, and you have to stack them up till you get to a finish line. And we're going to talk about how usable these states are stacking upon each other and, like, you know, how well we're able to use them. So I'm going to let Bryce start it, but here we go. Well, there's the basic rundown for you, so here's Bryce.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Bryce Gaming video. As Michael said, we'll be doing a Stack the States tier list. So right away, I'm going to be starting it off with Alabama. Now, Alabama falls under a huge category of states that just have a weird shape, same like general size, and they're going to probably, all of them are going to go in D tier. So Alabama, not very that good. Two of its, like, you might want to, like, you know, maybe put a little bit of a state here and stack it, but it just doesn't work. Even if you put it on the top, it's just not a very viable state, so it's going to go in D tier. Now, Alaska is the totally opposite of Alabama. One of the best states in the game, easy S. It's just so giant, and if you put it upside down, there's like a bowl here. Like, there's like a bowl where you could just put useless states in and stack them up. Absolutely amazing state, easy S tier. Next up, we have Arizona. I don't know if I want to put this in A or S. Arizona is one of the bigger states. Huge, absolutely amazing. It just has this size and kind of this. So I think I'm going to have to put it in A tier. It's an amazing state, but it's going to have to go there. Arkansas, going to have to go really high D tier, like high D tier. Because, like, right here, obviously, that's bad. And if you put it here, it'll lean forward and fall. But you only have two options, and that's put it on the top or the side. And sometimes that's not very good, because then you can't put anything on top because of this. Not the best state in the game, so it's going to go D tier. Now, next up, California. The next S tier going on the list. Absolutely amazing. So big you can use it to hook, like turn it over and lean it against all the states you have. Absolutely amazing. Not the best for starting out. If this is the first state you get, it's not totally useful, but still an amazing state. So next up is Colorado. This is going to be a pretty, like, high S tier, low S tier, high A tier. But I'm going to put an S just because it's like Arizona done right. It's like Arizona's a tiny bit bigger, but it has perfect edges. Just so amazing. It's really a great state. Now, here we have the first F tier on the list, and let me explain this. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't hold up any states. Delaware stinks. It falls under a category of just totally useless states, which we'll get to soon. It can't be used to build up. Not a huge state at all. And that's why it's gonna go in F. Florida is gonna be going into A tier, and let me explain that. You can use this in almost any situation. It can go off the side like a grapple hook. It can go like hook onto another state like that. It can be used in so many different places, and that is why I'm putting it in A tier.
Oh, good, it saved.
Alright, guys, we're back to our regular programming. And so, now, back to me ranking states. Hold on. Sorry. No reason for that. Georgia. I'm going to have to put this in, low B tier because it's a big state. It's decently sized. The only time you really get a use out of this is in the towards the beginning, where you could put it on the side as kind of like a wall. Overall, not the best state. It has like edges, and it could be good on the side, but it's gonna have to go into like very low B tier. Hawaii. I'm going to say E tier just because it's a little more useful than some of the other states. It's bigger and it can hook off the side of the map or off of different states. Like if you put it like right there, it'll actually like the state will go in between it. So I'm going to go put that in E tier. Next up is Idaho, and I'm going to put this in high B tier just because it's very useful. You can put it sideways and lean it up against another state. Like if you put it sideways, it's good just standing up normally. Laying down, it's like on its like long side. It's okay, not the best option. You could put it on the right side. But I'm gonna have to put that in B or B. Next up is Illinois, and this is the next state that falls under the same roof as Alabama. It just has a very odd shape and not the best for placing. Just look at that. Next, Indiana, also falling under the same roof because it has weird shape. It's the same as Alabama, but like turned. Iowa can go in C tier because it is very good. It's pretty good. It is it has of course this like nose thing, so you can only really use it to go on its top or bottom, but there's that tiny thing there that doesn't really affect it too bad. But there's this uneven part and this uneven part, which doesn't make it the best for stacking. It's of course good for like early game. All blocky states are, so I'm gonna put that in C tier. Kansas is going to go B tier because it's just literally, it's a rectangle. However, it's a tad bit too small, and this tiny thing doesn't really affect it too much. So it's going to go in B tier. Next up is Kentucky. This state is actually pretty bad. It's not very good. You can lay it down, but then there's just this, so you can't put states on top of it. So that's going to have to go in E tier just because of the shape alone. Louisiana, I'm going to actually put in B tier, and this might be surprising because look at the shape. But if you place it, it'll actually even out and become straight. Oops. It'll become straight, and it'll actually be really good for keeping everything balanced and, good. And so that's going to go B tier. Maine is absolutely a D tier. You could literally see the similarities between these 4 states here. And because of that, it's literally the same I've said for all of them. They have the same shape. Horrible, horrible. Now, Maryland is just like Delaware. However, I'm going to put an E just because it's a little bit bigger and it has this flat side that's okay. And I think it's a little bit better than more of the tiny ones. Massachusetts, low E tier. It's not the best. Sure, you could put it... I'm going to move it to F. It's not good at all just because, Fine, I'll move it to E. Sorry. It's not the greatest because it's not very viable in every situation. Now, Michigan is absolutely an amazing state. Not S, but I just want to give an example of how it can hook onto the side of things and just be great for, like, getting extra room. So I'm going to put this in A tier. And Minnesota, very underrated state. Amazing for just placing as a wall in early game. You could turn it over and have it balance on these 2 tips here. It's a very good, it can close gaps. Very good thing. I'm going to put that in B tier. Mississippi goes in the same boat as all of these. Weird shape, not very good. And now the final state I will be doing after I transfer it to Michael. Connecticut. Connecticut is absolutely garbage, so that is why I'm going to be putting it in S tier. And I would just like to just show you how great this is. I think I'm actually going to make a list of how great this is. So, here, alright, right up here. Number 1, never mind, it's just S tier, okay? It's S tier. So now we transfer to Michael. Yeah, Connecticut S tier.
Okay, not sure how I feel about that S tier ranking. Not to be mean or anything, but there we go. Okay, so it took me a while to actually figure that out. We're gonna stick with Bryce's ideology on the state of Connecticut and move it up a tier to the goats. The goats, I think they relatively mean less of Stack the States and a bit more of nostalgia and, just like a bias. Yeah, Connecticut is a goated state. Alright, here is Missouri. Missouri, C tier. Alright, so the size is great. The flat top is great, and basically the flat bottom is great, but I just don't think it's a great viable state usually when stacking, especially upon states like Kansas, Arizona, Colorado, just to name a few. And I just think it belongs to C tier. Montana, A tier. Humongous state. Left side just ruins it, but A tier, obviously. Nebraska, we're not even gonna rank. We're not even gonna rank that state. I don't like that one. Nevada, A tier. Nebraska, F. Actually, Delaware is better than Nebraska. Yeah, you kind of understand. New Hampshire, better than Nebraska. New Mexico, S tier. Exquisite size. Has a tiny little panhandle at the bottom. I just think it's a relatively good state in general. North Carolina, D tier. Just look at the shape and tell me you don't gag. North Dakota, A tier. It's a Dakota, but it's pretty north. Good shape, exquisite size. Ohio, better than Nebraska. Oklahoma, C tier. All right. I'm gonna get a lot of stuff for this. The Panhandle saves Oklahoma. If Oklahoma didn't have the Panhandle, look, just put your finger on the screen and look what Oklahoma would look like without a Panhandle. That looks awful. The Panhandle absolutely carries a state to C tier. If that didn't exist, it'd be better than Nebraska, E tier. Oregon. I'm gonna get Oregon. It has a pretty good size. It's like trying to be a square, but it just don't know how. Okay. Well, I'll redo. Oregon, pretty good state. Shape sucks. Shape is just unequivocally awful, and I don't think anybody disagrees. Shut up. Pennsylvania, better than Nebraska. South Carolina, better than Nebraska. South Dakota, almost better than North Dakota. Tennessee, C tier. S tier, obviously for Texas, very self-explanatory. S tier for Utah. Vermont, better than Nebraska. Virginia, C tier. Shape sucks. Same with Washington. West Virginia, better than Nebraska. Wisconsin, better than Nebraska. Actually, Wisconsin, C tier. Wyoming, S tier. Shape, immaculate. And it's time for Jersey. New Jersey. F tier, but better than Nebraska. Government sucks. Traffic sucks. Everything sucks in that state, and I live there. Taxes through the roof. That's why I do not like answering questions that involve New Jersey and stack the states. New York, same issue, better than Nebraska. And it's time for a state that might join another GOAT list. New York's goated, obviously. Jersey, better than Nebraska. Rhode Island. Oh, what an incredible state. Size does not matter when you're talking about states because this states have so much to do with size according to people who haven't been there. But Rhode Island, there's a lot to do. Great cities, especially famous tourist attraction Block Island. But it's just, a very incredible state. And I honestly think it's the best state in the universe. It's better than Connecticut. And Nebraska is better than Nebraska. That's all I got to say. Good day, Bryce Gaming. So that'll do it for the Stack of States usability tier list maker. But we're gonna do a little special something as a little Rhode Island tribute, and our manager will start that right now. Alright, so after about that masterpiece, that'll do it for today's video. Coming most likely tomorrow, or maybe at any time this week there's gonna be a Cluckles Thanksgiving special. Maybe a little Memoria, maybe a little bit story time. You'll figure it out, but